Yubowan. Welcome back to World Tour with Dee. I have been counting down the days to share this destination with you because it completely blew my expectations out of the water. From world-class wildlife tracking to some of the most vibrant coastlines on Earth, today we are exploring the incredible island of Sri Lanka. From ancient rock fortresses hidden in the jungle to some of the absolute best wildlife tracking on the planet, Sri Lanka is a destination that completely blew me away. In this episode, we are going deep. We are going to cover the geography, uncover the rich history, hit you with some rapid-fire fun facts, and of course, count down my top 10 absolute must-do experiences. Stick around until the end because my travel tips section is going to save you time, money, and a few headaches when you plan your own trip. Let's get into it. Like, subscribe, and click the bell. If you'd like our Sri Lankan essentials like GoPros, drones, hiking clothes, and travel hack items, check out the description below. Part 1. The Geography, a world in an island. Let's start with where we are on the map and why this island is geographically a total anomaly. Sri Lanka is located in the Indian Ocean, situated just off the southeastern tip of India, separated only by a shallow 30-mile stretch of water called the Palk Strait. It's a compact island, roughly the size of West Virginia or Ireland, about 25,000 square miles. But its famous teardrop shape holds an unbelievable amount of geographical diversity. It basically breaks down into 3 distinct topographical zones, each with its own climate, ecosystem, and vibe. First, you have the coastal belt. We are talking nearly 1,000 miles of coastline wrapping the entire island. You've got golden palm-fringed beaches in the south, massive mangrove forests, and vibrant coral reefs. But for me, the real geographic magic is what happens hidden beneath the water. Unlike most land masses that have a gradual sloping underwater shelf, Sri Lanka sits on a very narrow continental shelf. In places like Marissa in the south and Trikomali in the northeast, which actually has a massive underwater submarine canyon, the ocean floor plunges straight down into the abyss just a few miles offshore. This sudden, dramatic drop-off creates massive upwellings of cold, nutrient-rich water from the deep ocean. It is a world-class, all-you-can-eat buffet for marine life. This unique geographical quirk is exactly why Sri Lanka is one of the absolute best places on Earth to track blue whales, sperm whales, and even orcas just a short boat ride from the beach. Next, as you move inland from the coast, the land violently thrusts upward into the central highlands. This is the heart of the island. The elevation here rapidly climbs to over 8,000 feet. The temperature drops by up to 30 degrees. The air gets incredibly crisp, and the landscape transforms into rolling hills blanketed in tea plantations, raging waterfalls, and dense cloud forests like Horton Plains. The geography here is so extreme that at a spot literally called World's End, the plateau suddenly drops away into a sheer vertical cliff over 4,000 feet deep. Finally, wrapping completely around those mountains, you have the sprawling lowland plains, which make up the vast majority of the island, particularly in the northern and eastern dry zones. This is a scrub jungle and savanna territory. It is hot, arid, and punctuated by massive rocky outcrops. It's also incredibly unique because it's dotted with villas, these natural, rain-fed, sand-rimmed lakes that are the lifeblood of the ecosystem. Because water is scarce here during the dry season, the geography naturally forces wildlife to congregate. It's exactly why national parks here offer such phenomenal tracking for top predators like leopards and sloth bears. And the reason this island stays so lush, it's completely governed by 2 separate monsoon systems. The Yala monsoon waters the southwest from May to August, while the Maha monsoon hits the northeast from October to January. This dual weather system is a massive travel hack. It means that no matter what month you book your flight, there is always a side of the island with perfect sunny weather. Part 2, the history, ancient engineers, relics, and global trade. Alright, you cannot truly appreciate this island without diving into its deep, complex history. Sri Lanka isn't just a pretty beach destination. It is one of the oldest continuously inhabited places on Earth, and its historical time frame is wild. Archaeologists have found remains of the Balangoda man in the island's caves dating back 35,000 years. But the island's recorded dynastic history really kicks off around 543 BCE. According to ancient chronicles, a prince named Vijaya arrived from northern India, establishing the Sinhalese civilization. For over 1,000 years, the Anuradhapura kingdom ruled the island, and during this time, two monumental things happened. First, Buddhism arrived in the 3rd century BCE. It completely transformed the culture, and incredible monuments were built to house sacred relics, including a massive stupa called Ruwenwali, which at the time was one of the tallest monuments in the ancient world, right up there with the pyramids of Giza. Second, these ancient kings were absolute engineering prodigies. Because their capital was in the dry zone, they needed water. So they engineered a mind-boggling network of massive artificial lakes called tanks and complex canal systems. Centuries later, King Parakramabahu built a tank in the city of Polonnaruwa, so unfathomably huge that it was literally named the Sea of Parakrama. Thousands of years later, these ancient hydrological systems are still fully functional, watering the rice paddies and sustaining the elephant populations today. But while the kings were building empires inland, the coastlines were getting a lot of international attention. Because Sri Lanka sits dead center in the Indian Ocean, it was the ultimate pit stop of the ancient maritime Silk Road. Everyone came here: Romans, Greeks, Persians, and Arab traders who called the island Serendib, which is where we get the English word serendipity. They came to trade for ivory, precious sapphires, and most importantly, spices, specifically native Sri Lankan cinnamon. And it was that exact spice trade that eventually caught the eye of European empires, kicking off roughly 450 years of brutal colonial rule and intense cultural blending. First up, the Portuguese arrived in 1505. They fortified the coastlines, monopolized the spice trade, and brought Catholicism to the island. They are also the ones who introduced chili peppers from the Americas, completely changing Sri Lankan cuisine forever. Then, in 1658, the Dutch rolled in and violently pushed the Portuguese out. The Dutch wanted total control of the cinnamon. They built massive star-shaped stone forts, like the Gal Fort you can explore today, introduced Roman Dutch law, and built complex canal systems to transport goods. Finally, the British set their sights on the island. By 1815, they managed to do what the Portuguese and Dutch couldn't. They successfully conquered the fiercely independent Kandyan Kingdom in the Central Mountains. They took control of the entire island and renamed it Ceylon. The British completely re-engineered the landscape. They originally cleared massive tracts of mountain forest to plant coffee, but in the 1860s, a terrible leaf disease wiped out all the coffee plants. So, they pivoted to tea, bringing over hundreds of thousands of Tamil laborers from southern India to work the estates. To get all that Ceylon tea from the high mountains down to the port of Colombo, the British blasted through solid rock to build an incredible railway system, which today gives us those legendary, ridiculously scenic train rides. Sri Lanka finally gained independence peacefully in 1948, and in 1972 officially became a republic, dropping the name Ceylon and returning to Sri Lanka, which translates roughly to Resplendent Island. The modern history hasn't been easy. The country endured a tragic 26-year civil war that ended in 2009 and the devastating 2004 tsunami. Yet the resilience here is astounding. The incredible mix of Sinhalese, Tamil, Muslim, and Burgher cultures has created a tapestry of food, architecture, and language that is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Part 3. Rapid Fire Fun Facts. Alright, it's time for some rapid fire fun facts to impress your travel buddies. Ready? Go! Fact number 1. Sri Lanka is the world's largest exporter of true cinnamon. It originated right here, so if you love baking, you have Sri Lanka to thank. Fact 2. The Sri Lankan flag is one of the oldest in the world, and it's the only flag that actually acknowledges different religious beliefs, representing the country's Buddhist, Hindu, and Muslim populations. Fact 3. Sri Lanka is home to the oldest human-planted tree in the world with a known planting date. The Jaha Sri Maha Bodhi in Anuradhapura was planted in 288 BCE. It's over 2,300 years old. Fact number 4. It has the highest density of leopards in the world. And speaking of wildlife, let's move on to the top 10. Part 4. Top 10 things to see and do. Narrowing this down to 10 was almost impossible. But if you want the ultimate Sri Lankan itinerary, these are the heavy hitters. Number 10. Explore the Dumbula Cave Temples. Located high inside a massive granite outcrop, the UNESCO World Heritage Site is a complex of 5 caves completely covered in ancient Buddhist murals and filled with over 150 statues. The artistry here is breathtaking, and the view from the top at sunset is gorgeous. Number 9. Wander through Gal Fort. Built by the Dutch in the 1600s, this fortified coastal city in the south feels like stepping into a different era. The cobblestone streets are lined with boutique shops, amazing cafes, and you cannot beat a sunset walk along the fort walls by the lighthouse. Number 8. Drink it in at Nuwara Eliya. Welcome to the heart of tea country, often called Little England because of its colonial architecture and cooler climate. This is where you can tour a working tea factory, walk the vibrant green plantations, and taste some of the freshest black tea on the planet. Number 7. Hang out in Kandy. Kandy is the cultural capital of the island. Set around a beautiful lake, it's home to the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, which literally houses a tooth of the Buddha. It's a place of massive spiritual importance and incredible architecture. Number 6. Marvel at the 9 Arches Bridge in Ella. The mountain town of Ella is a backpacker's dream, filled with great hikes like Ella Rock and Little Adams Peak. But the star of the show is the 9 Arches Bridge. Tucked right in the jungle, watching the train cross this colonial-era viaduct is pure magic. Number 5. Take the train from Kandy to Ella. Speaking of trains, you have to actually ride one. The 7-hour journey from Kandy to Ella is widely considered one of the most beautiful train rides in the world. Hanging out of the open doors as you roll past waterfalls, tea pickers, and misty mountains is the ultimate Sri Lankan experience. Number 4. Climb Sagira or Lion Rock is mind-blowing. It's a massive column of rock rising 660 feet straight out of the jungle. In the 5th century, King Kashyapa built his palace right on that flat summit. You climb up 1,200 steep stairs past ancient frescoes to reach the top, where the 360-degree views are unreal. Go at sunrise to beat the heat. Number 3. Safari in Yala National Park. Okay, you guys know I live for wildlife tracking, and Sri Lanka does not disappoint. Yala National Park is famous for having the highest concentration of leopards in the world. Heading out on a bumpy jeep safari at dawn and spotting one of these elusive cats prowling through the scrub jungle is a massive adrenaline rush. Number 2, dive into the incredible cuisine. Sri Lankan food is an explosion of flavor, heavy on coconut, cardamom, curry leaves, and chili. You have to try kotu roti, a chopped flatbread street food dish mixed with vegetables, egg, and chicken. But my absolute favorite, fish ambul tigiyal, a peppery sour fish curry made with guraka fruit that is so rich and savory. Pair it with fresh hoppers, bold-shaped rice flour pancakes, and you are set. Number 1. Whale watching in Marissa. Taking the number 1 spot is an experience that is incredibly close to my heart. We are heading to the south coast to Marissa. Sri Lanka is one of the only places on Earth where you can reliably see the largest animal to ever live on our planet, the blue whale. The continental shelf drops off right near the coast here, making it a major feeding ground. If you time it right, you can see blue whales, sperm whales, and even orcas. Being out on the water alongside these marine giants is humbling, breathtaking, and my absolute favorite thing to do in Sri Lanka. Part 5. Travel tips and logistics. Alright, before you pack your bags, let's talk logistics. Here is my rapid-fire World Tour Travel Tips Guide for Sri Lanka. The visa. Getting in is super easy. Most travelers, including US citizens, need an electronic travel authorization, or ETA. You can easily apply for this online before you go, and for US citizens in 2026, you can get a 30-day visitor visa at no cost via the ETA portal. Just make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months and have a return ticket ready. Getting around. Don't rely on random street tuk-tuks telling you their meter is broken. Download the apps PickMe or Uber. PickMe is the local favorite and allows you to call cars and tuk-tuks with fixed fare prices. For long distances, hire a private driver. It's shockingly affordable and less stressful than the buses. Money. The currency is the Sri Lankan rupee. While luxury hotels take cards, cash is still king at local markets, small guest houses, and for tipping. ATMs can be hit or miss outside the big cities, so pull out a good amount of cash when you are in Colombo or at the airport. When to go? The island has 2 monsoons. If you want to hit the south and west coasts, like Galle and Marissa, go between December and April. If you want to hit the east coast, like Arugam Bay, aim for May through September. Sri Lanka is vibrant, it's chaotic, it's beautiful, and the wildlife encounters are truly second to none. It's a country that gets under your skin in the best way possible. If this video helped you add Sri Lanka to your bucket list, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to World Tour with D so you never miss an adventure. Let me know down in the comments which of the top 10 would you do first. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next destination.